Hey everyone, so this is the first tutorial of the PAM indicator, and it stands for Price Action Momentum. I just really named it after Step Brothers because it's my favorite movie. And if you remember that scene where they're in the office interviewing and they kept calling her Pan, I found it hilarious. We couldn't think of a name, but that's the reason why it's called that. No specific reason. Um, and it has a lot of memes and GIFs that you can attach to it when you're happy with it or mad at it. But today I was pretty happy with it, and then I'll just explain. We're going to get into the strategy of using the PAM indicator. So at 9:30, 10:30 Eastern, so my time frame is on Central. Um, I got a signal, and this was the lowest signal in 20 bars. You can count back to 20 bars. You'll see it is the lowest signal. Um, and then we got some upward price action, and basically they're taking out all the stops here. You can see that. And so once this bar closed above this line, which is your buy call line, you got this signal generated, which gave you an up arrow. It said take the position. So as soon as this opened, I bought my position, and it started working its way back down, but I set my stop loss to this line right here. So it gives me about a point of stop loss, just for this signal, and it will vary by your bars, as you can see over here. It is always the bottom of the bar that it takes, because that's your temporary support and resistance that PAM recognizes. And so it just kind of went up, and this was, EMA crossover had already occurred. It broke through the EMAs, it kept going, and then it retested on the 48, and then you got an EMA crossover. So you know you were sitting good. Um, and as PAM worked its way up, it went all the way up to a 2.31 move, where it said, okay, 20 signals or 20 candles. You can see, you can count back 20 candles. This is the highest bar, and it starts to generate the buy put signal. And as soon as it gets down to here, um, I'm getting out. And this is on a 5 minute time warp, by the way. So you can see that this is a 3 minute time scale, but a 5 minute time warp. That's why you have the two bars. And so at 5 minutes, it closed, gave you this signal, and then dropped another about point, maybe a point in a quarter. And then you could have got out right here, right? I mean, that's 3 points worth of moves right there. If you're buying 70 deltas like you should be, um, that's an outstanding trade, especially if you're trading multiple contracts. Even if you're trading one or two, this is still a very good move. You're not going to get a lot of moves like this that are captured by indicators, and this is not a lagging indicator. PAM does keep repainting. If this would have went higher, it would have repainted more. Um, and my whole strategy is once I get into the trade, I'm looking at my 13 and 48 consistently. So I want to see, okay, we got the crossover, so I know that this is going to be a good trend, and we're pumping. We go all the way up here. As we hit that SADI ATR level, that would probably be a good time to get out and just wait for the next signal to generate, because you've made almost 2 points right there. You've made 2 points. And as it comes back down, look, it retests at 13, and you go even higher. Um, and on a solid trend day, I mean, this is about as solid of a trend as you can get. It was a choppy day overall, but it gave you that good trend from 10:30, or yeah, 10:30 Eastern to 11:30 Eastern, AM. And so it gave you a really good trend, and then it gave you a really good trend to get back into. Um, and you got time. This is 3 minutes. This is not like it's on a minute scale. And as we went through the day, you can see we started chopping, 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 chopping. But guess what? PAM generated a signal. It kept you in the trade because it never hit that stop loss on the 5 minute. Not once. Even though we dipped below, it never hit the stop loss, and it went right back up. So if you got in around right here where you got this signal, you still got a little move, about almost a point. and then you would have got out. And then obviously another move came. I went back down. Still no EMA crossover. Squeeze Pro does show momentum, and so there's your area of confluence. Look, 2 bars. You had a squeeze fire 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And what I say about the squeezes, they typically last about 6 candles. This one lasted 4, and then we went back down. And you got a huge move all the way from 411.11 to about 409.02. So 2.09 point move. And if you would have stayed in even longer, you would have got down here to even a lower range. And then that would have been your day. You would have made about 5 points if you would have just followed PAM completely solely on its own. You didn't even need the EMAs. It would have worked regardless. And so what I want to show is a little bit inside the indicator now, because a lot of you have questions about that. So looking inside the indicator, you can set your bar length to anything you want. If you wanted it to take 10 bars, you can do that. And watch what happens when I do that. It changes all my inputs and outputs, right? So look at that move when I'm doing 10 bars. Same thing, but it's giving you just a big sign that you're chopping right now. Um, and if I change it to 30 bars, guess what happens? You're going to get less signals. I've always said on the 3 minute time scale that I liked the 30 and 40, but I'm starting to see that the 20 really is a sweet spot for this indicator no matter what you're doing. I mean, it really is. Still kind of would have got the same signals, to be quite honest. Actually, you would have missed this move because you had your bars set too far apart. So if I go back to that 20, which I think is the bread and butter of the indicator on all time scales, so now you're back into this move, right? Um, let's look at the aggregate, which is just a version of the time warp. And so the time warp is if I want to set this to 3 minutes, then PAM is going to give me the high and low on the 20 minute or on the 20 bar scale on the 3 minute scale. So see how this is a 3 minute on the 5 we were down to here and this was your entry. PAM would have got you in even sooner on the 3 minute. But I do caution against that because you do get some fake outs um, with the 3 minute scales, especially if you go down to the 1 minute scale. And I always combine these with SATI ATR levels because look, you can literally just scalp if you want to, or it will help you identify the trend. Um, and it's just overall better to, I would say, use the 5 minute on the 3 minute, and then on the 10 minute I use the 15 minute. Any other time frame above that, I'm using the time frame that it's in. 30 minutes for 30 minutes, 1 hour for 1 hour, 4 hours for 4 hours, days for days, week for week, month for month. And this can be just completely utilized to squeeze as well. I don't have the right time frame set right now, but you can see that's the after hours section. But you can see that on the 3 minute time scale, this thing it does an amazing job. So that's kind of the tutorial. Um, there's really not much else to the PAM indicator. It's very easy to use. You can have a couple of different settings. Add cloud just means you're keeping this cloud here. The colored bars, this is going to give you your signal bars of when the signal um, actually is going to be generated next. So it's kind of giving you a heads up. So see, like as soon as that comes on, if you want to take that the color off the bars, that's the only thing you have to click. But I find it to be extremely useful. And then you get your up arrows. Also can be turned off within the settings. Um, so that's it. If you have any questions or have any suggestions on what you want the next video to cover, I can go over strategies. I can actually do some live trading sessions. Just leave a like, comment, hit that subscribe button to help me get this indicator out to those traders that need it. Um, as you can see, it gave me about 5 points today in moves. However, for me, I definitely got greedy around right here, and I didn't get out of PAM, and I ended up taking a loss because we reversed. And so that was on me. Right here, I thought that we might just continue up. I traded the chart that was in my head, and I did not trade the chart in front of me. So I ended up taking a loss, not listening to Pam. And the one thing our group knows now is that you have to listen to Pam. She rarely lets you down, and it's important that you have this indicator in front of you and you do follow it. It won't lead you into many fake outs. It's a reversal sniffer, and it really just bags those reversals all day long. And on choppy markets like today, you can see the chop and it's visually there for you. And you can still make money in those choppy markets. Look at that. You were trading today, you knew what this time period looked like. It was a lot of chop. A lot of chop. But you still could have made money. Because look, if it doesn't come back up here and hit your stop loss, then you know you're still going down. You know you're still going down. And so what you want to do is just manually adjust that stop loss and just keep adjusting it. And I will adjust it once it gets here. Once it goes down a little bit, I'll put it at my swing high, right? If we get out of the side of this box, I'm going to put my stop loss here. If we go down, my stop loss is here. Look, we never hit that stop loss. And as we go down to this new swing low, I set my stop loss right here. And then I'll manually get out if I think that we're just going to go exponentially up. But as we went down, I would set my stop loss right here. Another swing high. We get to this swing low. I'm taking profit. That's a lot of move. I'm happy with that. And I'm taking profit, waiting for that next entry. And lo and behold, I would have waited 6 minutes and would have been able to get a little bit out of the last market move of the day. So that's it. I want to keep them short and sweet. I hope that explains a little bit. Sorry for getting the chart mixed up a little bit in the video. This is my only second YouTube video I've ever made in my entire life. So just kind of bear with me as we go through this. I'm learning the Discord. We do have a free Discord. It's in the link in the comments below. Please join that. Please be part of the group. It's growing fast, and it's completely free. The indicator is completely free. I'll post the links and the free Discord in the chat below. And like I said, please like, comment, and subscribe. That really helps grow this amazing indicator's visibility. And, you know, the whole goal of this indicator was to put power back in retail's hands and take a little bit out of those institution and market maker manipulation that we constantly see on a daily basis as we struggle sometimes to make this our living. So I hope this helps, and Option Slayer out.